speaking of that, this wise advice, I want to move to a next section of wisdom that actually applies to the shepherd part of the title of your book, Shepherd Leadership. And you talk about the relationship of wisdom to shepherding. One of the things you say is people with a deficiency of wisdom don't serve because they don't know how to serve. And as I read that, in my own mind, I also added, and often because they don't know the people they're called to serve.
Mm-hmm.
I call it the green room syndrome, where as in the last 10 years, I've been able to speak in a lot of different places. Most of the time I'm in smaller environments where it's just me or it's one or two other speakers from a small environment as well. But every once in a while, I'll speak at a larger conference where they have a green room and where all the speakers spend their entire time in the green room unless they're out at a book signing table. And I watch this, and to some degree I get why, because it's kind of Sabbathing when you need to step away from the crowd. So there's some of that in there. But for the most part, it's really not. For the most part, there are some of us who are living from green room to green room to green room. We are constantly disconnecting ourselves from the people we're leading because we think that somehow is what leadership is about, that it's about this disconnect. And when we do that, it's hard to serve. It's hard to have a heart to serve when you don't even know the people you're serving, or as you put in the book, when we don't even know how to serve. So how does the wisdom of leadership apply to this idea of service and of being a shepherd to the people?
Well, and that's one of the reasons why I chose the title Shepherd Leadership. Originally, I was kind of leaning more towards the idea of servant, but what I liked about the idea of shepherd is the individualized care. Where Jesus even said, there's going to be times that you're going to have to go do something for the one that you're not doing for the 99. And he would know that, the shepherd would know that because he's right there with the sheep. And so he knows what the tendencies are. He knows, hey, when we get near water and the sunlight glistens off the water, this one sheep has a tendency to stray towards the water because they're fascinated by the glitter. This one sheep has a tendency to not want to go anywhere close to water, but I got to get them there so they can have a drink. So you learn that about the sheep in no other way than being around the sheep. So when Jesus said, the sheep know my voice, I think it's the other way around too, that the shepherd also knows the unique voices of the sheep. And there is no other way but to be around and hear their voice and say, oh, this is what makes them sing. This is what makes them moan. This is what makes them cry. This is, so I'm around them to be able to do that. And that's how you develop that wisdom base then to know how to treat each sheep uniquely as God has wired them.